Hello guys, welcome to episode 3 of Doki Literature Club. We are going to be, hopefully, reading with Yuri, this mysterious girl right here. And so, here we go. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It says that I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that it's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against yours, then I hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to fold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Ooh, man. Wow. Yuri takes her left arm and folds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under the thumb after I flip it to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again. Our eyes meet. Ooh, spicy. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. Continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finished the pages before me, so I turned it by my own volition. We continued the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go on the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. Ooh, I see that right there, man. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. You remain silent for a moment. But Cloud, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. And that's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really know you're self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess it's more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone! I think it's about time we shared today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if I haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fun. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer only I read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip back into my bed. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much information since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Monica and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching to their backs. I do the same myself. Yuri, because I like Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I like his music. I can trust your opinion, to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off. I'm unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. Is that there's specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter and they fit the two together. The end result that they both style and expressiveness are weakened. Once you refresh your train of thought, it's as her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are many different skills and techniques that go into writing simple poems. Not just finding them and building them, just getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but all comes with new practice and learning, for example, or trying new things. I also hope that everybody else in the club gives you valuable feedback. That you can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if it's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't it supposed to be a literature club? Ghosts under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickened. I flickened back. I'm sorry. I can't read cursive very well. ... I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. How does it know me so well? What? That's weird. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Yeah, I think it's pretty too, actually. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it was short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Shiri? I am. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Cloud. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose she did only glance over it after all. Mind that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, the subject is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. Soon to be left with nothing. And that's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I haven't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I'd probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Cloud. Me too. Okay, guys. I think that's a good place to leave it off from. So, bye guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!